Let's see if it works. I don't know if it's working. It says it's recording. Okay. Hi, everybody. This is our first meeting for Deep Cove Music Instructors and the TeacherZone thing. If you weren't here a little minute ago, I did push the mute all button so that it basically keeps the audio clean. If you would like to talk, please, there is an unmute button that you have control of as far as I understand. And you should be able to, chime in when we need to do this. So I did attach in the chat, if you haven't used Zoom, there is a chat spot. If you can open it up, there is a little PDF there. If you care to look at it, you don't have to. Just kind of a bit of an agenda for me.
You might want to send it again, because I think I don't have it because you sent it before I came into the conversation.
All right.
What you get for being late, Brandon.
Okay, I'll try it again. See what happens.
There we go.
Awesome. Can everybody see it? Sort of, kind of in the chat. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's just an outline. It's nothing important other than an outline to kind of follow. Okay, so same as most of you. I don't know, some of you may be more experienced with these types of things. I've only used Zoom for 2 days so far, so this is my first group meeting, hosting a meeting like this, other than with my family and me and Brandon trying a few tests. The goal of our, so on a Zoom, just in case if you understand what Zoom is this platform is kind of like, there's a few of them out there. GoToMeeting is another one. Zoom, as far as I've researched so far, is free for everybody. And I think, as far as I understand it, when I was researching yesterday, that it's free for as long as you want one-on-one. If you go into a group setting, the meeting gets cut off after 40 minutes. So I'm going to try to keep that in mind today. If this meeting needs to continue after 40 minutes and it cuts us off, which it might, although I did request that we get a one-time as long as we want meeting, which I think may happen today. Then I'll just restart the meeting and everybody would have to join again, which would be a pain in the butt. But that's until I actually purchase an account that allows that, then that would be the way that goes. But for now, let's just go with this the way it is. If you have been looking, you've got your two different views, your speaker view, which if whoever's talking will be the bigger face on the screen, and then you'll be able to, it'll just switch every time someone starts speaking. Other than that, you can look at the gallery. There's the chat window, which if you got a question while I'm speaking and everybody else wants to kind of talk while I'm talking, just go ahead and type into the chat area. And if somebody like Brandon or Valissa or somebody else wants to chime in on whatever people are saying in the chat window, it's a really great way to kind of communicate without interrupting the whole meeting. All right. I think we're just going to go into the next thing, which in my itinerary is to go in and I'm going to log in to share my screen. Let's see how that start that first. And see how that goes. Okay, then I need to go to, okay. All right, so Valissa, you seem to be ahead. I can still see in this thing. Can you nod up and down or tell me that you can see my teacher login? Okay, wonderful. So I hope that at this point, actually everybody already knows how to log in to their teacher account, because that's what we were using for the schedule and attendance in the past. So if there's a problem with that, you guys can sure let us know, and we'll make sure you know how to log in at teacherzone.com. Usually it's your name, no spaces, no caps, and then password was the original password as far as I understood it. That is also the case for our students. I think there was a couple spelling mistakes with some of our students. So if somebody says I can't log in, then for whatever reason, we haven't been able to figure out how to change the spelling on the name. I know there's one with Sienna for sure. More, what does that mean? Did someone else just join? I don't know, something just came up. I don't know what that all means. Anyways, okay. So in the teacher zone, on the left, as you've probably been used to, is you've probably been going through your scheduling and doing the attendance from the scheduling. But up until now, no one's really been using the dashboard. And the dashboard is um, basically it shows all of this here. And then, and this is your students. This is how many practices you've assigned. And I'll get to what the differences of all this stuff is. Songs, performances, and skills and techniques. Okay, so I'm going to start off by saying, first and foremost, TeacherZone has not been as easy as I was hoping in regards to getting used to and understanding it. But the more I get used to what it does, I see the purpose of what it is. I've been just trying to be patient with it and trying to understand what's going on. In talking with the CEO and the partners there, of course, they're being hit with going virtual was always part of their software, but it certainly wasn't being utilized as much as it is now. So they're trying to keep up with everything, utilizing different implementations of things like their video streaming and what kind of things people can use to connect regarding FaceTime and Zoom. And I'll get to that in a minute. I think the first thing to really take a look at in TeacherZone is to try and understand what is, when you see it down here on the left, you can see the courses, the practice, and the library. This is kind of where you set up stuff that you can assign to your students. They kind of call it, well, they call the practice part of it the 3-ring binder. So instead of having the 3-ring binder that we've all been used to and handing out stuff, in there is where people get assigned what they're supposed to do for the week, and I will get into that. I'm going to start with courses. Now, courses, some of these have already been here. I guess they were shared to us from the TeacherZone database. I haven't gone through all of them to know if they're something I would use or not, but this is examples of stuff and they're there. I tried to make one and understand what it is. Now, essentially what my understanding is that a course is something you would create, and then when you are assigning things to your students, you can choose the course to assign in the practice. The practice is what you do week to week and what you're assigning them week to week, and then that's what they are going to see in their app. Brandon, can you make sure you're ready to be signed in as DCM test student so that when I try to do a test in a few minutes and to show what happens?
Sure, yeah, I can do that right now.
That would be awesome.
Yep.
Okay, we have set up a test student. We called them DCM test. The student was there and it was assigned to everybody in all the teachers, just if they wanted to kind of use a practice place to do stuff. You can do it with your actual students as well. But in case they log in and see that there's a bunch of weird stuff there, it might be better just to use the DCM test while you're practicing. Okay, so in a course, if you're gonna set it up, they basically have divided it into 2 types of things, so that when you're looking to assign a course, it's either a song or a performance thing that they're working on, or it's some kind of skill or technique that they're working on. And so when you're making these courses, try to separate the 2, I guess. Like here's an example here, how to hold the sticks. But yet down here's a song by John Lennon. And they might have different kind of approaches for each of those. Obviously you're gonna do what you're gonna do to learn a song versus what you need to learn to do in regards to drums or holding the sticks or whatever. So you don't have, by the way, you don't have to create a course. I want to say that right up front. It's not necessary to create a course. I think what's convenient about a course is that it's there quickly set up and ready to assign to other people. And the better that we get at making content that we can quickly share and quickly use, probably just make things easier, overall. But you can also, when you make practices, which is again assigning the student what to do for the week, you can assign that same practice to more than one student. So it's kind of the same idea as that if you set up something that you want students to be able to do, and it's something that you can apply to somebody else as like more than one student, you can actually use that practice to do the same thing. So if you're in an area here and you want to check something out, you press on these little red balls at the bottom here. And when you go in there, actually, one thing I want to say just before we get started. When there's some limitations in regards to what you can do with what type of device. So I believe you can set up practices and courses with like an iPad or that kind of a thing. I'm not sure it would be as super easy on a phone, but I think you could do it. It's probably better to try to use a computer when you can, and a good internet connection and stuff. And when we get to it, I will be showing you that how to connect with the people. It's going to be interesting whether you're using TeacherZone and the system they have to stream within the system versus FaceTime versus Zoom, which I believe they're working on integrating through TeacherZone to kind of help us without having to go off on separate tangents. But when we get to that, it'll be very important that you can't use TeacherZone with a student to stream within the app unless, or within the teacherzone.com, unless you're on Chrome on a computer and they are also on Chrome and on another computer. So that's kind of why FaceTime and stuff and Zoom's going to be kind of fun, because those can cross platforms. And if they can integrate that through TeacherZone, great. If they can't, we can just use Zoom and FaceTime separately and still use TeacherZone to track students, track their schedule, assign the practices and what they're doing, and use that system that way. Okay. Also, I will say that I am looking at seeing if there's any better solutions than TeacherZone. I'm not convinced that TeacherZone is necessarily our one stop, but we spent a long time setting it up, and it's all there and it's ready now. So I think we should try to use it. And as they kind of grow and learn and do what they're doing, but just letting you know, I got my eyes and ears open on a few other spots and looking at different technologies. All right, back to this. So if you want to view the details of the course, you can go in and now I've found that depending on your internet connection, definitely the players have been quite interesting. This little video seems to be constantly just kind of added to things when you make them. It's not like I added it, it just kind of, I think they've done that to kind of brand themselves. Let's see if I can minimize this. You got, can someone talk to me and tell me that it's still working okay?
Yeah, it's working good.
Okay.
You're all good.
I just had to take away all the faces there so I could see my screen.
Oh.
So up in here, this one I just there was a lesson 1, striking the common chord. I've attached a file called The Craft of Lyric Writing by Sheila Davis. They can open that up, and if they tap on it, it opens up in another tab. They can go and read the book or whatever, see this thing that they have. They can print it out, and then that's basically, I've assigned them read chapter 1 and come up with 3 ideas that people can relate with. And so that was kind of that idea for this. And it was just a quick thing for me to have an example of a course. Then on lesson 2, this is it's called Surgery, because it was like this is a song that the Band Factory kids were working on in Neva and Jet's band, the Quarry Rockers. And so I had uploaded a quick MP3 of where we had got to with that song, and I added it there. And then we were talking about maybe writing some lyrics. So, you know, some title ideas, a verse and a chorus. That's kind of, people have to submit those. And then if they want to hear the song, oops, I have to hit this, I think. So now they can hear the song. This is actually the kids. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. Okay, couple things to note in the player when you are playing back something. In the video player plays back MP3s. It also plays videos, of course. This little snail dude over here is really cool. He can slow things down in real time by 25, 50, 75. So you can choose one of those and play it. I guess it's it. Yeah, of course. I didn't test it out to know. I've seen it work before, but maybe I don't know how to work it. Anyway, what's that?
I think you have to stop it and then we do your assignment of speed and then restart it.
Yeah, have you been able to do it?
YouTube does the exact same thing. It's amazing. You have to stop the file and then you can adjust your speed.
Okay, well, I know that this little bar on the bottom here, if you can pick a start and stop time, and then when you play it from here, it'll. Okay, well, maybe I don't know if it doesn't, maybe it just doesn't work with MP3s. Maybe it works with videos. I've seen it work with videos, but I didn't try it with the MP3.
It might be, yeah, it might be trying to take that same function from YouTube specifically and using it there. So I wouldn't surprise me if it's just doing it on videos.
So, sorry, I tried to use that as an idea, but anyways, you can hear the song. They can do what they need to do there. So let's move on. If you're the kids and the teacher, any of the students, a really important part for them is to be able to access this stuff on their phones, on their mobile iPads or whatever they're using. And there's an app out there for it. The TeacherZone app is actually really great. That app is not where they take lessons. That's not where they take a virtual lesson. It's only to access what they were assigned in as a practice. And in that, they can sign in and then play all these videos and know what to do and update stuff. So it's a really great app, but it's not, it might be a bit confusing at first to say that, hey, that's not where we're going to have the lesson. The lesson's going to be within TeacherZone on Chrome on a computer or other pre-arranged destination like FaceTime or Zoom.
I don't know if anyone can see it, but I do have the app open here. It's laid out very much like the website is. And yeah, essentially you can just hit practice at the bottom. And then, oh, did you assign this to DCM test, Tyler, or no?
Sorry, I have to stop sharing, I guess, in order for me to see what you're seeing.
No, I'm just asking, did you assign that that practice you were just looking at to the DCM test account at all?
No, I haven't done a practice yet.
Oh, okay.
So,
but I'll show you, there's also like a really, really quick chat. And like, you can see that I have a chat here with Tyler that we've had for a while. And it all works really, really nicely. The app, honestly, in some cases works a little smoother than the website does. It is really nice.
Yeah, so what I'll do next is let's say that I'll just share my screen again, wherever that is. There we go. Okay, so back to here. So let's say, I've decided, come on screen. I've decided now that there's a course that I like. I've chosen which ones I'm going to assign to somebody. You might want to write them down, what they are. And then you go, let's try to finally start up a new practice, and we'll assign this to a student. You can prepare this before you have a lesson, or you can try to do it during the lesson once you get really good at it. But okay, so the number one thing is you got to kind of assign stuff, and these 3 or these 4 areas here allow you to assign stuff within the practice. That's step 1, design the lesson. Now, when this is clicked, this default name, the name of the person that you choose that is going to get this assignment, this practice assigned to them, it'll just put their name in it. So you don't have to type their name in if you don't. If you want to, you can do that. But okay, so I'm going to say DCM, or no, what was it? Songwriting. Okay, there it is. I press it. Now, here's an important thing that I couldn't figure out for a while, and I don't know what's the story with this, but basically, once you put that in there, you have to touch it so it goes red. Now it actually will be assigned to this thing. If you don't push that when you go to the next step, they won't be assigned to this practice. And it shows kind of what's going on down here, the lesson preview. Okay, next thing, I'm going to do another one. How about the music staff? Okay, here's this music staff thing. Okay, now it's there. I'm gonna, I see that it's the right thing that I was going to use, and I press on it and it's red. Then I'm going to say, okay, I'm gonna assign, let's say it's a drum student, or that's one of the things that drums does. Drums for beginners. Okay, now I go down, there it is, it's assigned into there, I press it. And they're gonna do TNT as well, because these guys are crazy. So they wanna do lots of stuff while they're bored at home. So there it is. I'm gonna assign the parts of it that are assignable. And now this is all into this situation. The next thing is, let's say you go, oh, well.
You unselected the drum thing for some reason. There you go.
Thanks. So let's say there's something that's not in your library of song performances or skills and techniques, but there is something on YouTube you want to use. So you could say, okay, well, let's do, say, Blackbird, or let's do how to play Blackbird. Okay, I push that. It searches YouTube. I've already kind of seen, I see this icon of somebody I've already know that's the video I want. I put it in there. Here it is. I can see the icon bigger to make sure it's the right one.
Yeah, I was going to say the YouTube search specifically is kind of funky, so I suggest you go on YouTube and find the video it is you want and just kind of take notice like what the name of the video is and what the thumbnail looks like, and then you'll know like which one it is when you select it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. Is I already had understood what I wanted there, and it's a nice way to do it. And one of the advantages of doing that, rather than using, say, a link, which you could put into this area down here, there's a link spot, is that playing it through their player, it actually nukes all the advertising and everything that happens in YouTube. So it's kind of nice, and it also just, I don't know, just keeps everything within the system. Again, until I actually teach a few lessons myself, I'm just trying to follow along with what's set up in here, and hopefully we continue to like what it has to say.
Sorry, was that the add files and links section you were just in?
No, so I'm in design lessons.
Okay, I see it now. Okay.
Very first spot.
Still there, okay.
And then there's a few different spots there. There's the select performances, skills, or techniques. Those are the courses that we pre-arranged. We looked in there in the courses and said, hey, I'm going to choose some of those courses to assign to this person. Then I thought, well, that wasn't good enough. I needed to add something else from YouTube. If you also want to add files and links, you could choose a file or add a link. And then you can upload those files. If you say choose a file, it goes to my computer. And now I'm adding a file. I don't know if my logo just happens to be there. And then you can add those files. If you will choose from a library, now there is a library that we have we haven't really made much with, but like the surgery song is there from the Rockers. There's just the craft of lyric writing is there. I already had that stuff put into the course I created, so I don't need to put it in again. But these.
Okay, so quick question, Tyler. This is a good database for all the teachers to reference. How do we upload to this window, this file?
I'll get to it.
Okay.
This is a really good way to collaborate and stuff too. So if we have, we should be collaborating in the future, as if we have a chance to make songs together or work on songs together. This is a great place where all of our files will be backed up, and anyone can have access to any kind of backing track or any kind of recording that's already been made. The one other thing I want to clarify, the reason why that first section is called select songs and performances or skills and techniques is because those are the two like genres you can pick from when you create a course. You either create a course and it's going to be on a song or performance or on a skill or technique. And that's why it just doesn't say courses. So I just wanted to clarify that that is the courses selection, but that's why it says songs, performances / skills and techniques.
And if you're like me, I've been to a few of these meetings already with TeacherZone and whatnot. If you've been watching these videos, yeah, I felt overwhelmed. I felt like, holy crap, what the hell's happening here? Why is this so crazy? But the more that I do it, the easier it's getting. And I start to see all the benefits of why they've, been doing this for a long time. Over 5 years, these guys have been in development. So um, just be patient with yourselves, I guess, is my recommendation, and give it a try and see what happens. Okay, so let's say we've come to this part. I can go down here and I can actually say, give some directions, for each one, I can say, do the songwriting course. Have your music staff memorized. And then, set up your drum kit. And, try some of the songs. You could say something like, don't forget, oops. Don't forget to use, and this thing's a little laggy, your yak. Practice timer. And I spelled that wrong now. Great. This thing is. Okay, so up here, you won't see it until we go to a student thing, but there is a thing called a practice timer. But when the people are in and they're practicing, that records it so that you can actually see a chart of how much time they spent this week. And you could create some fun contests with, like, maybe the parents can say, hey, you've earned an hour of fortnight for every hour that you practice. Something interesting like that might be a fun way to kind of get it going.
And Tyler, if you want to assign this to me, we can then switch over to me later, and I can show the student side if you want.
Yeah, so I'll just do that now. So the next step after you do that is to add a student or a class. So now you have to know who that is. So I know that I'm going to assign it to, in this window, I can assign it to the DCM test student. I can then say that, this is due, next week. And I can assign to them, hey, you should, you got nothing better to do. Try for an hour a day. And we can send them a reminder even that says, hey, every day at noon, you are going to get a reminder. And that will be sent to you via the notifications that we've sent up for them for email and text. And that's just kind of a fun thing as well. All these little additional things, I think, are really what gives TeacherZone an advantage over certain other software, is the notifications and the billing. And I know it's a lot of stuff, but I think as we all get used to it, we'll see why they've done so much work on this. Okay, I'm saving. What do you know? There it goes. So now this is the practice has been assigned. One of the things we can do now, which is neat to see, to test it out, is if you go to the members, which is the students that you've been assigned, I can see DCM test is right there. I can hit the little red ball at the bottom there. And I can hit the red ball, there we go. I can actually log in as the student to show that, what they would see. So then I can go see the details of the practice. Then I can go in there and view what they've been assigned. And lo and behold, there's the video for TNT. There's all the others. There's the backing track, and then you can go to the one that's called the music staff explained.
Hey, it's Clinton, your piano sensei.
Whether that's the right guy to be putting in your lessons or not, maybe you can make your own videos and put them up. I think content will be definitely king in this world of virtual. So as we all get good at making content and sharing it and figuring out a way to license it, that's another whole story, another whole meeting. Anyway, these are all your things, and you can go through and see what they're supposed to do. There's a little thing here that says I'm done. I'm still not certain how that works or what happens with that. But obviously it's should help you know that you've finished something that you were supposed to do. Yeah, so that's what I know so far. I'm going to do a little more experimenting to know what that is. But I'm going to go back to my teacher account now that I've confirmed that everything I put in there is there. And maybe I can try having a lesson with Brandon here. Are you ready, Brandon, if I try to do this?
I'm ready.
Okay, so I guess I haven't really, I'd have to go to the members. Then I go to
yeah, show how you get a hold of me, and then maybe before you call me, let's switch to my screen and I can show them how we receive it, how the students receive it.
So in here, if you go to chat with student, you're going to see this little area. Here's the chat that you can enter the text stuff, like if you're wanting to like give them some notes or they're asking questions or whatever during the week. A big part of this is what's going on, when they're not in a lesson. And then as soon as he joins the, as soon as he's signed in, it should be in color. So do you want to go to your screen right now?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so, one sec. Go ahead.
So let's see here. Oh, which screen is it? I don't even know. Let's try this. Oh, I gotta hold on one second. I just gotta allow it real quick. Wow. Oh crap. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. Hold on. Let me try one more time.
There is
Oh, here we go. I got it.
Yeah, like Tyler was saying that they have their icons. They can put their own photos or whatever. You have your photos on yours. For ours, it's set to be black and white if you're offline, and then like there's a color if you're online. Also with the students, don't upload a photo if they are online, so you'll know if they're there or not.
Yeah, so for the student side, here I am again. You saw this earlier with Tyler. I can see my practice assigned and the practice that got completed and stuff. But yeah, if Tyler tries to call me.
Okay. So I'm gonna have to do it. I think I have to minimize the screen here because all I see is your screen at the moment.
Oh.
Hopefully this doesn't stop anything if I do this.
So Tyler's going to go to that chat and he's going to click that video icon. Yeah, okay. So here, now I'm getting a call and it's red at the top here on my dashboard. So I'm just going to hit answer. It might be a little slow because I'm going to be streaming twice. Yeah. There you go.
I thought there might be a weird link there.
Yeah, that's all good. But yeah, so this is now the teaching screen, and I'll admit my my MacBook screen is kind of small, so things are kind of taking up more real estate than they should. But if you have a larger monitor at all at home, it'll be nicer. But you can also still access the chat down here. And this is for both the teacher and the student side. And then you can attach files and stuff in here as well. So I can say, hello, can you hear me? Things like that. And then if I want to attach a file, I hit this attachment, I can just straight up upload things during the lesson as well. Yeah.
Just give me a sec, because I feel like if my mic is on, it's screwing everything up for everybody. Sorry, guys, that's weird being logged in like that.
Yeah, we're also double streaming video right now, so it's probably a little crazy. Yeah, there isn't too much else to show here. I can go full screen with this. The one problem we found, though, is that when you do go full screen, I just entered full screen with Tyler there, it gets rid of your camera, which is kind of a nuisance because you obviously want to make sure that you're showing your guitar and stuff and everything when you're oh, what happened there?
Sorry, Brandon, it was just getting too crazy for anybody, I think, for me.
Oh, okay, yeah, fair enough.
So I think the only way that would work is if you actually muted your, if you mute your Zoom, and you'd have to, like, I don't know if I don't know if you'd have to like log out of Zoom for that to work, but I think people have already seen it and they get the point.
Okay.
That let's see here. So where do I go for this now?
But yeah, the important thing there for sure is just to make sure that that's where the student shouldn't be in the chat. They just want to be on the dashboard, and the answer, the phone call or answer to the video call is at the top of the screen there for anyone to answer it.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to get back to my Zoom. Everything got weird on me there. Okay, how do we get back to you guys? Must be the meeting. Ah, there you are. This is really fun. Okay, so back to sharing here. Okay, does that mean, is everybody, is the audio back to normal and is everybody seeing my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Thanks, guys. Sorry for that. This is all new to me. Okay, so you guys saw that once we were in the chat with the student, that's where you can initiate the call. Their icon should be in color at the time of the call so that you know that they're actually online. Let's close this out. And all right, so, oh, how did I get to her?
I also wanted to offer that Tyler and I, and maybe even Valissa or whoever, we're all around to kind of help do some practice stuff with this if you guys want to try it at all. As Tyler showed earlier, you can log in to the DCM test account via your own login. You can just go to your students, find the DCM test, and log in as student, and you can probably practice with another teacher that way. I also added the sign-in information in the chat for it, so if someone just wants to, if that doesn't work for whatever reason, you can just straight up sign into the DCM test account. And
Your audio's dropping. Or can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
yeah.
Okay.
Wait, can you say that again, Brandon?
Yeah. So I was just saying that you can log into the student account via your own login. So if you, as Tyler showed earlier, you can just go to your students, find the DCM test, and you can log that in. And you should be able to practice this that way. You should be able, with another teacher, with me, with Tyler, you can then try a chat with them. If that doesn't work for whatever reason, I also put the sign-in information for the DCM test account in the chat just now. It's just DCM test, passwords DCM1234, and you can try it out with whoever and just try to get used to it.
Is the DCM capitals or lowercase? So we should just make that.
It's all lowercase, no capitals.
Question, Brandon, logging in as the student or practice with another teacher, what's the difference? Can you
No, it's the same thing. I was just saying that, like,
okay.
I don't know, because the website is aware that you're like logging in as a student from a teacher account, so I don't know if it'll let you do a video chat. So just in case it doesn't work, the actual just straight up sign in information for the student account is there, so you can sign it in and then add maybe Blake and JR, if you guys want to practice doing a lesson together. One of you guys can sign to the teacher account and one of you can sign to the student account and then try a lesson.
Oh, I see.
I think to avoid any confusion, everybody, I think it would make more sense that if you're going to be working on a test lesson, that somebody logs in who you're working with as the student separately. Don't try to do it from your teacher account. You could try, but I think it would make more sense that you log in as if you're a student, and the other person logs in as if they're a teacher.
And like Brandon said, you can set up appointments with me, Brandon, or Tyler if you want to kind of test your setup and see if there are any glitches or anything before you.
You don't need an appointment to do the test, though.
I'm just saying, like, if they want to reach out to us for help, that we can do that.
Right, to help say, hey, I need a test person.
Yeah, or like I just want to make sure it's working on my end, and like we can log in with them or hop on and like troubleshoot with them.
I think that's a great idea. I think that Valissa, all three of us will be able to try to figure out a way to schedule practicing this week. The sooner we start practicing, the more we're going to all feel comfortable actually doing a lesson. So let me just see what my agenda has on it here. So once you go through, I guess the library is the next thing that we could take a look there. I'm going to go back to my teacher account here. And there's the library. It was there. Hello. So under the dashboard, if it stays working, I don't know if it's my internet or whatever, but anyway, there's the spot where you can go in and you can start uploading stuff to the library. Here's some of the stuff that I've already put in there. I noticed that a few people, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I saw some stuff from Eric and some other people. Now, I think I was able to see some of that stuff as when I log in as an administrator for DCM. When I log in as a teacher, I think it's good to note that when you go in here, I'm not sure if a teacher can do it or if it's only the DCM, but there was a way to share with everybody. So when you upload something, if you want it to be shareable with other people, I'll have to take a look at this, but I do know that there was a spot where you have to enable that. So, you know, I could just try to even do one, but I think you can, it says you can drag files to from your desktop right to here. I'll just try something to see what happens. This is
I know you can definitely do it with courses. When you go to create a course, you can essentially make it shareable or not. And I think that making it shareable will make it accessible to not only us as staff, but also to like the other TeacherZone users, the other people who use TeacherZone. So like, as you saw, we had a bunch of courses accessible to us when we were making or looking at them. Those are what other teachers have used, and they're kind of like all open to whoever wants to use them.
Okay, so I just put it there, but it didn't give me the choice in my teacher account to share it. So I think that's going to be something we'll look into for later, so that we can figure out how to make sure that we can share stuff with each other. But the library is there. You can create your own unique library, and then you can start using those things to assign in your practices. As we discussed before, you guys probably already know, this is all your all the students that have been assigned to you, and that's that area. I don't think I have anything else to talk about in the TeacherZone area. Scheduling, you guys already know about that. Why don't we do a quick Q&A? Is there anybody that wants to talk or have some questions that are unclear about how to create the assignment?
Yeah, I've got a question. Is it possible for students to upload stuff to us? Like, some of my kids have like their own piano books that I don't have a copy of. So is it possible for like kids to upload their stuff to us, or for parents to, I don't know, take a picture and send it to us or something?
It should be.
Okay.
Good question for us to confirm.
I know you could in the chat area, right? So
Okay.
when I was showing the chat with Tyler and I, there was an attachment link that that the student can use and send it via the chat. I don't think there's somewhere at like the library for the student, but they can send individual files to you as a teacher. Yeah, we're gonna have to figure something out with those books too, because that's obviously, you're not the only one in that boat, Mike. Like,
Yeah.
obviously there are a bunch of people. I only have, out of the several books I use, I only think I have a copy of one or two of them that my students use. So we'll probably have to try and figure something out there.
Your student could actually just email you.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you could drag it up, and then you could both.
Or we can use WeTransfer, but I like the point. If we're in the system and we're using the system, you know, we need to know the limitations of it. And I think that's the part that's been difficult for me and for anybody, is just learning the system, knowing why am I using it via some of the other things I've been doing forever, which is email and WeTransfer and stuff like that. I don't think that we're limited to, I think we just need to deliver, and however that delivery is going to make it happen. You know, at this point, we're just trying to make some transactions, and then we'll get better at this as we go. I think we can have some team meetings and discuss some of these ideas. There's a lot, so I'm logged in here as the DCM test just to try and see what Mike was saying. I've gone to a different browser. I've logged in as the test, and guess what? There's the library.
Hey, look at that. Awesome.
So it looks like you can, student can create and upload things to their own, to a library. And then I guess it's just us learning what can be shared.
Yeah, I don't know how the teacher then has access to those. I don't know if they can see a student's library. That'll be interesting. That's something to figure out.
We'll look through that, but I have a feeling that if a student is assigned to you, you have access to their library.
Yeah. As our rosters maybe get slowly filled up and we have students and we realize that, yeah, they have a book that we are using that we don't have access to, maybe just take note of what book that is. And then if you guys want to you can either try it yourself, try to look for a PDF online of it, or if you want to send me what those books are, and I can try looking at finding some PDFs of those books so we have access to them, because that will be a huge resource for us.
You know, speaking to that, in today's world of this craziness, I'm not opposed to the idea of coming in and doing some scanning, and depending on who else is willing to mask up, glove up, do what they got to do to feel safe to come into the store, we could potentially look at that as a solution to start scanning some stuff that we know is not available. Just might be something to do. Could take a long time, but it might be worth it to have, you know, levels 1, 2, 3 in piano, 1, 2, 3 in guitar, 1, 2, 3 in bass.
Yeah.
You know, have some books available online to be able to assign. Other than that, the only other thing I've been trying to, I've had quite a few requests to come in and get to, like, people want to buy guitars, ukuleles, books. They're bored at home and they're missing stuff, especially the parents so far. It's like the kids have been taking lessons, now they're at home too, kind of going, shit, I need a guitar. So I'm not super excited about exposing myself to the situation, but as long as I keep it safe, I might be able to work out some stuff where people buy stuff and I can drop it off, or, you know, some kind of a safe version of it all. All right. Any other questions so far in regards to the assigning of the, like, trying to create a practice, which is essentially their lesson that they're assigned it to?
I have a question regarding sharing your screen on TeacherZone. Is that possible at all, like sharing your computer screen with your students?
No, it's not. It'll just be video to video.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, Zoom to me is by far the better solution.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because we can do one-to-one, we can do share screens, we can pass files, we can, you know, there's just a lot of things you can do with Zoom. And again, it kind of made me wonder, like, what's the purpose of using TeacherZone sometimes? I just try to figure out, like, why can I, you know, do I need to use it? And I think it's, you know, obviously there's the billing aspect and the scheduling aspect. But if it's just as easy to do emails in Zoom, you know, there might be, you know, might be able to avoid some of this stuff and make it easy for ourselves and for the students.
One thing too is they've been doing constant updates. Like this morning, TeacherZone was down for a bit because they were updating stuff supposedly to do with the virtual stuff. So we'll keep you guys updated too. I have a feeling they'll be changing a lot of how that works as it's becoming higher demand, and we'll just keep for now until we figure out.
Yeah, I mean, I can speak to that on another level.
If things change for that.
Sorry, I thought you were done. You weren't done. It was actually cutting out, I guess. What I can say is that there's another platform I was looking at, and I know that these guys are looking at it, is that if they integrate Zoom the way that on another platform I've been looking at, you can choose, the students can tell you what kind of platform they want, or they call it a location. And then within the platform, such as TeacherZone, they choose Zoom, and then it runs Zoom straight from, like, it makes Zoom start up from TeacherZone. And then I'm not sure what advantage of that there is, other than all the IDs and the connectors that you need. Like, the students can actually access the Zoom right from inside of the platform, which is like TeacherZone. So again, as that stuff starts to become available, you know, obviously we'll try to decide whether we're, you know, staying with TeacherZone, which we've put a lot of effort into, or if we're going to do something different. But for now, it's what we have. Within, you know, like a week ago, I had no idea we were going to do this. So this is what we got set up, and this is what they're trying to do, and I think we'll just give it a shot. On my agenda, though, it does talk about FaceTime and Zoom. So I think it's really great if you guys can try to, you know, be flexible, because it might be easier for the students. And then we could just use TeacherZone, like I said, to kind of create 3-ring binder, assign files, have the chat area that's available throughout the week, deal with the billing, deal with the and it's also your, you know, once you have something scheduled and you complete it, you can mark your attendance. That's how we're going to do the payroll. You know, all of those features are pretty important when it comes to making a successful transaction with the lessons. So regardless of the delivery, everything but the video, which is it's available, but it's just restricted at the moment, which to Chrome with the computer. So the fact that everybody's already up on Zoom means pretty much anybody's already ready with Zoom. FaceTime, most of us probably know how to use it, but it's a one-to-one. I don't know if FaceTime has multi-person functions yet. I'd be surprised if they don't make that happen very quickly if they don't. I've never used a multi-screen function in FaceTime in my life. So does anybody happen to know, chime up if you know FaceTime has a...
I think there is. I think I've used it before.
Cool. All right. Well, yet again, another thing. The only problem with FaceTime, as we all know, is that it's a Mac product only, and therefore it doesn't cross platforms into PC versions of things.
So on that note, Tyler, WhatsApp is a great one because it can be on any device and any, you know, on a Mac, on a PC, on an Android. WhatsApp is a good alternative, and everyone seems to have it, especially younger kids.
Okay.
I think WhatsApp is tied to a phone number, though, if I remember correctly. I haven't used it in a while, but that might be the only downside. But I also don't know what their video capabilities are like.
You have to use it on a phone. You can't use it on a computer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What about Skype?
Does anyone know Zoom is only connected?
Yeah, I didn't put Skype in there, but sorry. Let's go with Jay. So Jay just asked about Skype. If I can just talk to that. Again, I don't care how we do it. Skype obviously was kind of the leader in this entire thing. And I just, for whatever reason, I've dropped off of it because of FaceTime, and that's pretty much all I've ever used in regards to videos up until now. So yeah, I mean, Jay, if you want to at some point maybe have a meeting with us all and say, hey, you know, this is why we should use Skype or something like that. I mean, I'm game to look at all the different solutions. I think I just chose Zoom recently because it just seemed appropriate.
From the testing that we've done so far, we haven't done Skype yet, but from using TeacherZone, FaceTime, and Zoom, Zoom has seemed to be the most consistent so far as quality and consistency, I think. So I think that's why we've leaned this way so far.
Can I ask you a question? And now, depends what you're using and what the student is using for interface, microphone, headphones. Me, just on my laptop, and I've done tons of stuff in WhatsApp. I've done a ton of stuff in FaceTime. I've done over the last couple of days, and Zoom, and I haven't done TeacherZone yet. But I find the quality to be about a 4 or 5 out of 10. And I have a pretty much brand new MacBook Pro, and I find the quality is just
so
not there.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that make a difference with your quality of video. I'm sure Tyler would probably say some of this too, but there is a video that I don't know if you guys watched it. There was a video that Tyler sent that had like 9 like tips about doing streaming and online videos. One of those things is how your internet's set up. So unfortunately, Wi-Fi is a very inconsistent way for bandwidth. So depending on where you are in your house, what's between you and your router, how fast your internet speed is, it can all fluctuate. And Wi-Fi, for whatever reason, even if you're staying in one place of the house, it can also fluctuate just second by second. It changes all the time. So for those who can, I recommend you try hardlining outer Ethernet cable. This will keep it more consistent, but I'm hoping to take time with each of you that are having problems and maybe give you some suggestions, but also take a look at that video and hopefully it'll help you out with trying to figure out the best way to get a nice, smooth, and strong connection in your specific house.
Hey, so sorry, JR, can you clarify which one you were saying the quality didn't work for you?
Zoom was terrible. WhatsApp was terrible. They're all just like, I'm not talking about picture. The picture is not really important. People can see your hands, your guitar, and you can switch the sizing of what your students see and what you're seeing. That's easy. It's the sound quality. I just find the sound quality from my end, and I have more than adequate equipment, and I'm right beside my router. The sound, I don't know what you and Brandon found yesterday for quality of sound, but I find it inconsistent and okay at best.
Yeah, I think I can speak to what I think is the approach is you're not gonna have a seamless jam with people, at least not yet. I mean, there might be some software out there that's going to be able to deal with that. I've actually been looking at there's the guy that started, he was one of the founding partners of Nimbus, and they started something called Session Wire quite a while ago. And it's supposed to be like a really awesome way to record people from, from across the world virtually. So again, there's probably some different solutions where you could jam and do things, but for now, I just don't think you're going to be able to play with your student like you normally would. Like, I don't think you're going to be able to jam out with them. I think you're going to have to say, it's my turn. Okay, this is what it's supposed to sound like. Now you try it. And that approach is probably going to make a lot more sense for people to be able to like make comments and say, put your finger here and do whatever there. But I don't think jamming together with the issues with the sound, going back and forth, dropping out, lag time, all that kind of stuff, it's just not going to be the same. So then it's about, figuring out how can we, submit tracks or do stuff where the teacher can maybe then put them into a DAW system and send them a mixed version. And for people who can do that, other people who are just going to be, can you guys still hear me?
Yep.
Okay, good. Just my Window's doing some weird stuff. Other people are just going to do what they normally do is, here's the assignment. They're going to listen to what they do, give them some tips and hints. Just basically be a coach and an aggregator of content. That's our job, is to just keep giving them stuff to do and to follow up with them and see that they're getting it done. If they're not, don't check it off. If they do get it done, then check it off and give them something better, something new to do. And, I don't think there's much else that we can do that way. I just don't think you can jam the same as you can before.
No, so I hear what you're saying, Tyler, and I totally it's valid what you're saying. And I don't think the jam aspect of it for me was really what I was talking about. Just the quality of a single performance, just me, and I've been practicing with people. But having said that, one thing I just thought of is you can make a quality video. I make videos all the time, and then send that to the student. And here's the follow-up tutorial for you, so you have better quality. Because I know as a teacher, one thing that my students are focused on is the quality of my performance to them, and they go, "Oh, I want to sound like that." They're hearing that. You know what I'm saying? So I know this is a different platform, but I think that's an alternative. And I just thought.
I think you're dead on with that, JR. It's going to be a lot of that. Like, here's my examples. Make your videos, assign the videos, try to help them during the actual physical lesson period, and then just follow up with them. So yeah, the more prep we do, like I said, if you can create courses and videos and things, and it's all uploaded and ready and there, the lesson itself will be more of a lot easier to just assign things and follow up and explain things. and then, you know, just try to give them the coaching that they need.
Teaching virtually is going to be a very different beast, and I think, yeah, doing quality videos, you can send them afterwards, and using the virtual lesson time to kind of just correct them and show them what they're supposed to be doing and not necessarily playing for them is a great way to approach it at first. But I was going to just add, like, I implore us to kind of use each other if we needed to. I know several of us are hooked up with quite a few pieces of recording equipment. So if people aren't at home and they don't have as nice stuff to record themselves or whatever, hopefully we can use each other to kind of like, hey, I just need like this 4-chord loop recorded for, you know, this song we're doing or this blues thing. Do you mind like recording one for me? I have no problem doing that, and I'm sure some of you guys would probably be down to do that kind of stuff too.
Yeah. So that kind of brings me to the next thing that was on my little agenda, which was, well, there was group lessons, first of all. I think group lessons can be done if we were doing this Zoom thing and just talking about ideas and assigning people to do certain things and being organized with being able to do tracks. You're going to have to be able to record tracks and assign them and put them in there, and just try to do the best we can with group stuff. Can
I add something real quick, Ty?
Yeah.
I just noticed, Laura, you put that in the chat a while ago, but she was mentioning FaceTime, not FaceTime, Facebook video chat is also a good source. I think, as far as I'm concerned, it functions quite a bit like FaceTime. You have each other on Facebook and you're in the chat, you can call each other. I think that's great. I think the only downside there is that you do have to have a Facebook account and have to be friends with the student on Facebook, which I don't know is entirely an appropriate thing to have. Additionally, I even know some of our younger staff don't even have Facebook accounts. So I don't know if it's a necessary thing. I bet you a lot of kids probably do have FaceTime accounts and things like that they can just sign up with their email as opposed to like their personal like social account.
Hey, good point.
I just mention it because it's been really, really good. I teach my nieces in Manitoba and they have the worst internet ever, and FaceTime does not even work for them, but Facebook chat's always really good.
Yeah, because you're mentioning how like if your reception's bad, FaceTime kind of sucks. So Facebook chat's a little bit better. Yeah, I totally hear you there. But yeah,
you could probably sign in using the parents' account.
Yeah, I wonder too, like if you could just make like an empty account just for teaching, so it doesn't have like your personal stuff on there if you don't want them like contacting you that way. I don't know.
Can you use? I'm wondering if you can use. I have no idea. I know that pages have a chat system, right? So for instance, I have like my artist page on Facebook. If you can then also do video chat via like a page as opposed to like a profile, because that you could do that. You could make your like a page as like, you know, Laura Smith teacher or whatever, and then people can just like you, follow your page, and then you can do chats that way and chat with people.
But are we talking chats or are we talking video?
We're talking videos, but the video function works through the Facebook chat thing.
I see. Regardless of what platform we use for the video, I think for now, I would like everyone to try and use TeacherZone in regards to tracking the attendance, tracking what they're assigning, and, you know, let's just try it that way, because I mean, otherwise I have no idea what's happening. And I think from the company, for Brandon and for Bliss and I, we got to have some kind of thing that we're going to do that way. If you do have other students and you want to utilize our platform, I definitely can allow you guys to figure that out. And we wouldn't be charging the same as we charge. We would just take a small commission for any students that you want to bring into the system. But that's something I haven't really thought out yet. I just know that that's, if you have something you want to bring, students you want to bring in that are not from Decode Music, I'm more than willing to make some stupid, amazing deal that just allows you to work and make money and survive this thing. So I haven't really thought out that plan, but let us know if that's something you're interested in. The next thing that I just want to quickly go over is your environment, which that was kind of touched on by Brandon earlier with that video. You know, I had to come to the studio because I had 2 bored kids and my wife doing yoga, and everyone's doing stuff in my space. And I'm like, wow, how am I going to have a meeting with all these people while you guys are doing that? So I had to escape to come here and set up, and I have a nice environment already here, and no one is here. And I brought lots of Purell and stuff to make sure that I don't know who was here before me if anybody's come in while I wasn't here, wiping things down. That being said, if people would like to use our environment that currently is still here, and we have computers in every room with pianos and drum kits and all that stuff. I know that traveling here might be an issue if you can't take a car, which would be the preference to get here some kind of a way that's not with a cab driver that you don't know and how many people they've been exposed to. I mean, if you can get here and you feel safe to get here and you want to use this place, that is also available at the present time. So I think that would be a good thing to do. Let us know and we'll be able to sort out how we can give you access and make sure that you're up and happening with all the technology that we have. But some of the things to think about are, did you have a shower before you started having your lessons? Because we're at home, it's so much different, are you still in your pajamas? What's in the background? Did you do your dishes? Do you have any light that makes you so that you can be seen? Having these wonderful multi-cams that, like maybe having an external cam that you can mount that shows the keyboard. If, I'm not sure how I could, grab my thing here and show people stuff. It's going to be
hide the empty beer bottles.
What was that?
Hide all the empty beer bottles.
Yeah, right. Yes.
I'll definitely be looking into how to integrate multicam setups as well as how to take your master out from any DAW into your stream. I'm sure some of us may already know how to do that, but we'll probably want to do that. So I'm going to look into that, and I'll obviously share that info once I know that.
Yeah, I mean, some people have been really good at being able to utilize their beautiful microphones, like Michael there got a nice condenser setup, and same thing with Jay, and they got their headphones, and
it's not even plugged in right now.
Well, it could be.
It's just set decoration.
But all these things.
Unlike Jay, who actually has it.
But I think all of those things will be awesome, and having a space that you can disappear into and teach without, if you have other people around you interrupting you and stuff like that. It's all things to consider. I don't think I have
one thing, Tyler. I know you have more to talk about. I just don't want to
not really, actually.
Can we have a meeting once a week? Can we do this to support each other? I think it's important.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first and foremost is we all need to take a look at, first of all, we can hear from Valissa if there's people interested in lessons, so that those people who are interested in lessons, you could actually start looking at what you would need to prepare with that person, if the best you can. That would be a really good thing to know. The other thing to do is to just, let's just start practicing with each other and trying to figure out a way to know that you can deliver. If we say, hey, we got a booking for you, at some point you have to give us the green light that you are ready. And when you are ready, then we can book you. But if you don't feel ready, we got to work on that, whatever that's going to take to get you ready. So I think Valissa's and Brandon are it's great that they're on board to help us facilitate communication and organization of everything. So reach out to them, reach out to me. Email is probably best. Phone, you can always phone me, you can text me, and let's put some effort in. I went over to JR's the other day, and he was having some technical issues, and we solved them. And he's giving me the don't say anything. But yeah, so you got him all sorted out. So now he's here in this meeting, and that wasn't going to be possible a couple days ago. So.
Yeah. Laura mentioned in the chat it would be cool to share what we learned from our first week back teaching in a thread or something. Then we can kind of help each other with any tips that we've learned. I also thought it'd be good to update you guys. Right now, I'm going through all the emails. We just sent out a mass email to our clients just requesting anyone that's interested in virtual lessons to contact us. So I'm compiling all that information and trying to narrow down schedules. So obviously they make sense. And then I'm going to try to contact all of your students that were with you individually to see if they were interested in that. And we'll try to get you guys a schedule, like an update of who's interested in what timing looks like as soon as that's all sorted through.
I think it's interesting to think about time. I mean, daytime is now quite available for us all. So you don't have to necessarily think about an after school time, because these kids currently do not have virtual school happening. That may happen through the school board, but currently, as far as I know, they are just making their parents crazy. And so they are going to need stuff to do. And the parents need stuff to do. I mean, within 15 minutes of the email that I sent out on MailChimp to a small database of 500 people that are in that database, I had 15 replies. So it was like, whoa, okay, that's fast. I don't know exactly how this will continue. But at the end of the day, I think we're going to get some work doing this. And I think it's just going to be a day-to-day, step-by-step process, trying to stay calm. And, you know, I do plan on creating content as much as I can, and when I'm not teaching. I think the first thing I might do for content is how to teach a virtual lesson, and do a lesson or a course on that. It would make sense that I do that so that anybody who is questioning what to do can refer to that. And
I think one on how to practice too would be really good. Like how to, as a student, like how do I go about using TeacherZone, and how do I like practice and work at home with virtual lessons?
especially if I have my cat involved.
She's mine.
That's so cute. That's one thing that's pretty fun. We get to see people in their homes. It's a totally weird thing. And their cats and their dogs and some of that stuff. I also think that we can be creative with ideas about contests and you know, just some fun interactive things that could possibly make staying at home a lot more fun. And it doesn't have to be music too. If you think that you have other ideas of things that you could provide for courses, that might be crafts, it might be drawing, it might be, I don't know, whatever you guys come up with, we could make a course on it and advertise. How to cook? What was it? How to make a what?
Yeah.
How to make a what burger?
How to make a cheeseburger.
Yeah. Well, you never know, right? Like at this point, I just feel like content is going to be available. If we make it available, I don't know if people will pay for it. We might make some stuff free just because, hey, why not? And just trying to keep people engaged and keep people impressed with all of us that are doing this, and just help each other out through this time. That's what we got to do. I don't think there's anything else. Is there any more questions or things that people want to talk about? And then we'll just start slowly getting it together with some practice lessons throughout the week.
One thing I wanted to mention was that I know we wanted to kind of keep in touch and keep a thread going, each up to date and stuff. I did start Tyler and Melissa on Slack. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. It's kind of just like a chat system where you can essentially put a topic or theme to the chat. So we could literally just do like DCM teachers help chat. You just sign up with an email address, and then you can use it as a mobile app and as a like software on any computer, PC, Mac, whatever. I don't know if any of you guys have used it before, but I know a lot of other workplaces use it as a place to kind of just update with coworkers. But it's not a text message to your phone. It's not as slow as email. But you can kind of just go there and go, oh, okay, does anyone, if someone needs help with like a recording or with how to teach something, just go, hey, anyone help me with blank? And then you can respond to that message and help people out. But that's just an option that I've kind of looked into recently. I don't know if other people would be interested.
Yeah, I could totally, I would like to keep doing it, like doing the.
You're very quiet, Blake.
Oh, sorry. As far as like doing the, and okay, are you still doing stuff with Corey Rothers?
Oh, for group stuff? I mean, let's be honest. It's been just trying to get to this meeting has been an interesting challenge for me to research, getting an email to our clients that was informative and what was the right thing to say and what link to put in it. My intention is, yes, I will do something. I think Zoom is going to be how I connect with them, and how I go about creating the lesson plan is going to be, you know, just one day at a time once I get to it. I think right now it was more or less trying to get our staff, you know, like, are you interested? Can we do this? What's our training that needed? Like, there's a lot, all of that was more first and foremost to be able to offer anything. And then that was what this week was about. That's why I said, let's not try to do lessons this week. Let's just try to get ourselves operational and up and running. And then from there, I truly believe that we can do group stuff. Absolutely. And I think Zoom is the answer because of the multi-screen.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not going to be a jam solution. It's going to be more of a, you know, submit your lyrics, submit a video of you and your ideas, and then you trying to take those ideas and put them together on your off time. Maybe the actual lesson time with Zoom, I'm just thinking off the cuff here, but maybe the actual lesson time isn't a full hour and a half. Maybe it's 45 minutes of hanging out together and people submitting stuff, and the other 45 minutes is you compiling all the information and putting it together to submit into the database, so that your time isn't being utilized, you know, more than what you've been asked and will be paid for. I don't know. I'm just thinking off the cuff, like how we can make this work. But let's jam on that. Let's get our ideas together. We'll talk about it, and we'll be able to release those ideas to people as we go. I think number one, let's get everybody operational. Let's get everybody ready to say yes and know what technologies they have available to do it with, and get Melissa, Brandon, and myself to start. You. Look at you. What's up?
I got nothing.
I'm going to go to Hawaii then.
No, you can choose a background. Yeah, there you go.
Oh my God, amazing.
That's it. I'm going on my vacation that I had to cancel.
Where is
I have
that?
to be in Hawaii right now.
Where's the background, man?
You can change it in your video. Besides the video, you can choose a virtual
Laura, you're
background.
an
Just derailing the meeting.
That's not a good path for me. Can I just say one thing? It's really, really cool to see everybody. I miss you guys a lot. It's so nice to see your faces. I got to see Tyler. I wanted to hug him, but I didn't. And he wore gloves, and I was wearing a Glad garbage bag for most of it. It's a new fashion statement, but it's really, like, I'm so happy to see your faces and hear your voices. It totally touches me. This is a trying time for all of us.
Yeah.
You know, nice to see you. That's a gooey part. The serious part is, I talked to Tyler and Melissa. So no lessons this week. I did have someone that was interested, but are we just sort of like clearing the decks this week?
No, I mean, if somebody is, my mind is, if you're ready and you want to do it,
oh yeah,
somebody wants to pay for it, who the hell am I to say no?
I figured I was like,
do it. I don't care.
All week.
Just try to connect through Melissa and Brandon. They're available during their days, and let's make it happen. I absolutely do what you can. If you can make a couple bucks for yourselves, fantastic. Please do.
Yeah, like I was just going to add that, like, I'm in a weird scenario because I'm actually not living at home right now. I'm living at my grandma's house, and I'm currently trying to set myself up. But I want to just offer myself as like a tech support, like almost 24/7. Like, just shoot me a text, message on Facebook, like whatever. I'll hop on Zoom with you, whatever you need to do, and I can help you set up regardless of whether it's like hardware you're trying to set up or just trying to figure out TeacherZone or whatever. I'm around, and I'm essentially just on and off constantly during the day, whether I'm working or not working. So I'm around.
Yeah, and me too. All I've got to do is pretend I'm surfing and and work. Okay, guys. If there's no more questions, I've utilized an hour and a half of your time. I really appreciate all your attendance. Is everybody cool with that? And we'll end our meeting, and I'll somehow figure out what I'm supposed to do with the recording of it, make it available. You guys rock, and I miss y'all.
Miss you
I'm
guys.
gonna try and send an email to you guys for the Slack invite if you want it, just to see if anyone wants to use it. But other than that, we'll keep in touch.
And Brandon, can we have a date right
That
now?
is awesome.
Brandon,
Can we have a date?
Yeah.
I-
Right now.
I'm about to possibly go out and grab the rest of my gear so I can start setting up here.
Okay,
which
so
is
while
one of
you're
my
still here, when
priorities.
are you back?
But I can I'll message you once I'm back home, and we can maybe
Okay.
try and
Hey
do some
guys,
test stuff.
range your
Cool.
day later.
Yeah, wash your hands, guys. Wash your hands.
Oh yeah. Don't touch your face.
Anybody want to do a lesson? I'm available. So there you go.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. Use each
Oh
other.
yeah, we should
Practice,
do
practice.
that.
Yeah, let's do available. Get lessons practicing. Bye guys.